Dear friends, so hope you all are well and keeping safe. Today I'm going to talk about my learnings from the book The Splendid and the Wild, written by Erik Larson. This is a historical non-fiction book set up during the World War II time frame. Before I go ahead and talk about my learnings, a quick tidbit about the book itself. Splendid and the Wild is written from the lenses of Winston Churchill. Unlike other books I have read, which talks about the war in general, this is purely from the eyes of Winston Churchill, who was the then Prime Minister of Great Britain during the wartime. Also, the people who are involved in his life, like his family members, his close associates, their life, their viewpoints are also very well depicted in the book. So, if you have not read the book, please go ahead and pick up the book. You'll not regret. So, what are my learnings? King George VI, when he has to make the difficult decision of bringing the right prime minister on the power so that that person can lead them through the war, Winston Churchill was never the first choice. In fact, he chose Winston Churchill when Neville Chamberlain himself recommended him. He was shocked, but he went ahead with a decision and made Winston Churchill the prime minister. When Winston Churchill came on power, what kind of shocked me, in fact, in a good manner in terms of his leadership skills and how he took England through the difficult times, were five things which I want to bring to your attention. The first and the foremost, as soon as he became prime minister, the first thing he did was bringing the right people on board. He went ahead and got in people whom he knew from the past, whom you have seen done things in the past in getting decisions, making things happen. He got those people, and not necessarily these people are from politics. For example, Beaver Brook, he was a newspaper mogul. He got him in and gave him the charge of producing more aircrafts, which was one of the core reasons of how they could defend Germany during the wartime. He did a lot of changes and brought in the right people in the mix to make sure he empower them, get them on the right seat, and so that they can fight a war with the people whom he can trust. That went a long way, and there are a lot of testimonial around it. For example, the example I took before, Beaver Brook, he started producing aircraft like never before. Within 3 months, it turned the game, producing almost 200 more aircrafts a month than it was done before. And similarly, the engines that are required to make aircrafts were also gone multifold high. Really, really helped him in fighting the war and defending the war accordingly. The second thing was his relentless belief in the end outcome. He didn't know when it is going to happen, but he was absolutely sure that he is going to win the war. He has no two doubts about it. And he spoke accordingly. He was a great orator in all his speeches to the common people or in the House of Commons, or when he was talking to his close associates and his other people. He was absolutely sure that he is going to win the war. And he simply didn't sit on that. He created a strategy around it and he was on top of the game always. It was a great belief from a leader, right? When the leader believes the outcome is absolutely going to be their win, everything gets aligned. And this is just mind you, despite all the headwind he was facing, Germany Air Force was juggernaut in terms of the Royal Air Force they had. The Luftwaffe was juggernaut. Similarly, their entire aspect of how they're losing the war in France was coming in a very heavy manner because they knew that as soon as France is going to bow down, England is going to the next. So despite all those headwind, he strongly believed that there is no two ways about it. I'm going to win the war. That kind of assurance was very important to uplift the mood of the society, the people, his associate, and all the people who are fighting the war. The third thing is that he had a strategy as well. It was not a belief alone, he had a strategy. And his single most strategy beyond other things that he did to reject the entire aircraft manufacturing, other things that I spoke about, was also his belief that if he can bring America to the war, he can absolutely win the war. And it was a hard job. Roosevelt was the then president in the United States. He was going through the election time as such, and he was trying to run for the third time as a president in the Americas. And it was a tough time because Roosevelt, no one believed him. The then ambassador from America to UK, to Great Britain, had no belief on Winston Churchill per se. And all of those were culminating, but he didn't give up. He relentlessly pursued that goal. He kept writing, telegrams. He kept writing notes to him, telling him about the situation and also asking him to join the war. Mind you, it was again a very delicate situation, which he knew, because if he shows that he has lost the battle and hence is looking for help, Roosevelt will never join a losing battle. At the same time, If he says that, well, everything is great, I just want you to join the war, he'll not get the help again because you have everything there. So you have to make a very fine balance. Tell him the gravity of the situation, at the same time also show the brave face he's putting together and everything that he's doing. Mind you, at that point in time, London was bombarded, right? There were air raids done where bombs were thrown all over London and other major cities of Great Britain. And during that particular time, how he has ensured that RAF or Royal Air Force can stood the game, at the same time he can increase the morale, was very important. Fourth was what he did as a person per se, right? He was personally very passionate and involved in this whole game. For example, he did survey of the areas where bombardments have happened, lifted the morale of people by speaking to them. He was a great orator, as I said before. So speak to people in public forum through BBC and other radio medium, and ensure that he can give a strategy to them that what he is doing to make sure that he's making the right move. For example, he was always there to see how his people are behaving, what help he can offer, and quickly reacting to the situation. Fifth and the final one is he was in offensive mode. In a war, you can go two ways. You can defend your country. Mind you, again, they are surrounded by water. So Germany have to come through air or they have to come through water. He made sure that his Air Force RAF could hold ground and he could defend the whole thing. But more than anything else, he put an offensive strand as well. He went and bombarded Berlin. He also went to other allied countries or the countries captured by Germany and put a fight, be it in the Africa or in the European nations, wherever Germany was strong with the ally, he went ahead and gave a fight. And that kind of shocked a lot of the German leaders as well. But he made sure that it is not about the defense, it's also in offense, which kind of over a period of time persuaded Roosevelt to believe that Winston Churchill is having a strategy and he's executing upon it. In summary, I want to tell you that we all know the outcome, but I think the key turning point was twofold. I would say one was when he was in an offensive mode, but yet more importantly, he could convince America. When Roosevelt became third-time president, he was able to pass a law by which he could trade in, or he can provide a lot of food, material, and other war weapons back to Great Britain to fight the war. So it was a big win for him. But most importantly, I think when the tides turned was when, unfortunately, Pearl Harbor was attacked by Japan, and Japan was ally of Germany, as we all know, and they attacked Pearl Harbor. That was when officially America entered the war, and at that point in time, Winston Churchill knew that war is going to be won by the Allies, and he is going to win the war, and that's what it happened. 3 years down the pipe, in 1945, they won the war against Germany. So, a great lesson learned from the book. As you can see, the leadership quality of Winston Churchill stands out despite all the odds. When the country was losing belief, he stood out and made sure that the belief is strong and never gave up. He kept pursuing his goal of getting America on his side, never gave up on that idea. He ensured that he is connected to the people always. He took an offensive route rather than only defending, and made sure that Germany get the message loud and clear. Hope you like what you hear here. I would love to hear your feedback as well. Do read the book. I didn't cover the book aspect. As I always say, I never talk about the book, but my learnings. That do read the book. There are a lot of amazing facts about Churchill's own personal life, his wife, his children, his close associates, his relationship with them, and how he progressed during the war, during that tough time. So thank you again for listening. I hope to again hear back from you soon. Take care. Bye.